stitches in his head, but he didn't want to go to the audience because he was worried he was going to get AIDS. I was like, that's pretty ballsy. I heard the promo, but I couldn't hear all of it because the fans were just, they were cheering. Like, they are big Roman fans out of the United States.
Because Roman's the only one they booked to look strong.
Here we go.
Yep.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Void Wrestling Podcast, Episode 5, and we're coming to you live from the Podcast Detroit studios in Royal Oak, Michigan.
Hi, everyone. So we're going to be going over our WrestleMania review and reactions, thoughts, things of that nature. So starting it out, we have the kickoff show, where the first match was the Battle Royale, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale kickoff match, where Bray Wyatt lost, but he helped Matt Hardy win, and they went into the Woken Warriors, right? That's their name?
I don't know if that's their name.
I think it's just Team Woken or something like. I don't remember exactly what the name of the team is, but we know it's Woken something.
Yeah. How did you guys feel about this? Because
it was amazing. It was wonderful. It was delightful.
Delightful.
I'm excited.
Me and Ro called it a while back.
Yeah.
We had said that they were going to, once Jeff got taken out, we were like, oh, they're going to team up Bray and Matt.
Yeah.
Didn't know when, but it was coming.
Yeah, it was no way I saw them bringing like the brother Nero and Woken Matt Hardy together. So it just made sense because Bray was going kind of nowhere.
Yeah, I thought what they were going to do was they were going to, like, I guess, give Bray a new gimmick or
That's
something.
what I thought.
Woken
reboot
Abigail.
Right.
If you could reboot a wrestler.
Right. Brother Bray.
Bray.
You know, so I did think that was going to happen. And when he came back as Bray Wyatt, just...
The Husky Vessel.
Yeah.
Yeah, Husky Vessel.
So,
Vessel of Huskiness.
It was just exciting that they gave him something different to do, but it's still the same thing. So we'll see how far it goes.
Yeah, so then the next match was the Cruiserweight title match.
Cedric
Alexander defeating Mustafa Ali to become the new Cruiserweight champion. How did you guys feel about this match, actually?
I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it?
I did not watch it either, but I kind of went back and kind of read the action reviews on like what happened during the match.
Yeah.
Me and Will were in the drive-thru at Taco Bell.
Yeah, we missed the kickoff show initially. I went back and rewatched it, and I thought it was the best match they were going to have for a kickoff show match because, like, the arena was pretty empty. So it was the best match they were going to have. I was against, like, the match as a whole because I was against the babyface versus babyface dynamic of it. But overall, I thought it was a pretty good match. Yeah, good kickoff match.
I was just more excited about the way they're actually starting to book the Cruiserweight division now.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing.
Uh,
It's almost kind of taking me back to when they were doing the Classic. And, I mean, like, that whole tournament was phenomenal.
Yeah, the Cruiserweight Classic was, like, such a well-done tournament and everything. I kind of wish they would do one, like, this year. But instead they're doing the UK and the women's one again, which is fine. Those will be good.
Yeah.
And then for the final kickoff match, we had Naomi winning the first ever WrestleMania Women's Battle Royale kickoff match.
You mean the Ovaries Championship title trophy?
For those of you guys not in the know, the trophy when they first revealed it looked just like women's
anatomy.
Yeah.
I don't think they thought
didn't think that through. That was the comeback for them. For all of us complaining about being called the Mae Young.
I actually
the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal.
I don't think it looked like
It looked
as
bad.
much. Like as
People were kind of just hamming it up a little bit. Yeah.
yeah, I don't think it looked as bad in person, but like the images were like really bad prior to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like the match was fine. It wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't understand what they're doing a lot of times with
With the
when
women.
they're women. They're so much better than they giving them credit. Sometimes it's kind of sad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like just kind of a boring battle royale.
Yeah, just boring.
Whatever. Okay, but on to the first real match of the card. We had our triple threat Intercontinental Championship match. We
Great
Match
had
of the night.
Seth Rollins defeating The Miz
Mhm.
to become the new Intercontinental
And Finn Balor.
champion. And yes, Finn Balor.
Sorry, Balor.
How did you feel about this match, Tristan?
I loved it from start to finish. That was probably match of the night personally for me because
Mhm.
I'm a big Seth Rollins and Balor fan, and I guess I kind of like the Miz. I know a lot of people dog on the Miz, but the
Miz
Miz
is
has
so
come
great,
a long
dude.
way.
The Miz is awesome to me.
and he is
No pun intended.
he's awesome. But no, personally though, that match was like start to finish was booked perfectly.
Yeah. I guess I'm okay with Seth winning the belt, even though I just like Miz having the belt because I feel like
He knows.
he knows what to do with it. He brings because it was kind of dead from the time that Dean Ambrose had it all the way through. Really, I mean,
Like,
Dean Ambrose, Alexa Bliss it. I talked about that last episode.
yeah.
He defended it twice out of the
Right.
9 months that he had it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm excited to see him with the belt because I just like not Roman, but Seth. Of course, I like Roman, but I like Seth, and I want to see him do well. And I think it's just like Roman. I don't understand why he's not over more than he
Than he
is.
should be.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I thought it was a good match. I just thought the first couple minutes, it seemed like
Nobody knew what to do.
Mhm.
yeah, it seemed like that awkward opening, and like it didn't bog the match down that much. I still thought it was a good match and everything. I just thought that the first couple minutes were kind of like they were all feeling each other out, like
Mhm.
they hadn't been in this type of match before. But other than that, I thought it was a good match overall.
I heard someone say that you felt like they felt like
Mhm.
that it was kind of the start they were trying to get their spots in. Did you feel that way?
Yeah.
Toward the end, yeah.
I noticed towards like the end of Seth picking up the win, it was like Seth hit the sling blade, then Balor hit the sling blade,
Mhm.
and then Miz did some like weird float over DDT thing that looked like a sling blade.
Right.
So it was like
And it wasn't really needed, but I mean, I
Mhm.
guess it, long as the match was just good, so it really didn't matter. But
Yeah.
I did get that feeling.
Let's see. So then the next match, we had the SmackDown's Women's Championship match. Charlotte Flair defeating the undefeated Asuka
yes,
and retaining the title belt. How did you guys feel about this one?
I was kind of surprised. Like I
Mhm.
personally, I figured Asuka at first. I thought Asuka was going to win, but actually, now that I think about it, if I remember correctly, you and Troy had said all along it was Asuka, and then I agreed. But then at last second, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go against you guys on this one. And I am happy that I did, because now I don't have to karaoke now. You do, but
uh,
that's a whole different story.
so
What?
I. Oh,
ahead.
sorry. Bro.
Well, I was just gonna say, I mean, I'm happy Asuka lost personally because I think it now gives her the chance to have better stories.
Yeah.
Before you had to, it's kind of the Goldberg effect where you had to continue to build upon making her look strong and, just kind of it always had to end with her winning. Now you can do more with her. So I feel like they'll be able to build her more. So I was happy about that. And I feel like Charlotte is kind of in that Roman Reigns situation where they want her to be something.
Yeah.
So I kind of saw them letting her win. I didn't even think she would be in the match personally, but,
Here's a question though: how do you guys feel about then Carmella taking it
Okay,
from
okay.
Charlotte?
So this is what I was going to go into. I thought as a match, this was the best match on the whole card, like hands down.
Oh,
just
yeah.
as a.
I mean, you missed half the match. But
Well, yeah, but I went back and rewatched it, so that counts for something. But yeah, so I thought it was the best match, like as a wrestling perspective.
Mhm.
Okay, and I was fine with Asuka losing because, in my opinion, if she was going to lose, it
had
should
to
have
be.
been to Ronda Rousey,
or
but
a
like
really big match.
at the bare minimum at WrestleMania.
Yep.
Okay. So I was fine with her losing, but then subsequently having Charlotte lose the belt to Carmella was like the worst
Trash.
decision they could have made to me. Like, period. Like,
Per-
Carmella just
Sure.
feels like a transitional champion
Yes.
at best. Like, at
Totally
worst, it
agree.
feels like she's hurting the belt.
Yep. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me unless they were gonna move Charlotte over.
Yeah, that's what I thought for like half a second they were going to do, was they were going to like put Charlotte onto Raw and then build Charlotte up as the one to beat Ronda.
Right.
But I guess they didn't think so because Charlotte's still on SmackDown.
Right.
And Ronda's still on Raw.
Yeah.
Well-
and I actually like Carmella a little bit. I mean, I don't know if she's. I guess my thing with women being a heel is kind of hard for them to be the heel, especially if you're like a nice looking person. It's hard to make them a heel.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get super heel from her, but as a wrestler, I think she's okay. So that makes her a transitional champion.
improving.
Right, she's getting better.
Like when she first started coming around, she made Eva Marie look like Ric Flair. I mean that right there saying a lot.
Right.
But I mean she's doing a lot of improvements, and I know personally to me I figured it was coming, but I felt like it shouldn't have. But like thankfully they didn't do it at WrestleMania.
I think like the thing was they put themselves into a corner where like, okay, so you can't have the first women's Money in the Bank winner like lose or have her just not cash in.
Right. And it can't be a Baron Corbin
Yeah.
situation.
Because like then you bury the women's Money in the Bank, but then like it goes into the problem with like she should have never won the women's Money in the Bank. It like the James Ellsworth like pulling down the thing was like so bad, and everyone agreed that it was awful.
Personally, for me though, what I kind of dislike about it is the fact that now Carmella is the longest reigning Money in the Bank holder.
Yeah.
She surpassed Edge's record.
She surpassed Seth Rollins.
Yeah, she surpassed Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
and
because
Edge.
Seth
Edge-
passed Edge's one.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Edge I think had it for like 260, and if I'm not badly mistaken, I believe they said Carmella had it for 284 days,
Wow.
which is a
That's
long
so
time.
And wasn't it like a situation where it almost seemed like she cashed in the contract
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
and they just
let it go. and
it's
they
just like,
just-
yeah, she didn't do it.
Yeah,
So,
And it was like, hey, what?
it was
Yeah.
bad.
it was bad.
So then the next match was our United States Championship Fatal 4-Way. We had Jinder Mahal, ladies and gentlemen, winning the United States Championship, defeating Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, and Rusev.
I mean, once again, I understand what they were doing, but it's like
This
oh,
was
come
so
on.
this was so dumb to me.
So
They should have
stupid.
let Rusev win it.
So yeah, they should have either had Rusev win it or not
let
had
Orton-
Jinder lose the next week on Raw.
Exactly.
It was such a pointless match in the long run, and it just bothers me.
Like, I don't get. Are they trying to make Jinder to be a hero because they knew they had the big match coming over?
They're
overseas.
hindering him.
Like,
back to hindering
it was
Jinder.
like the weirdest thing where it was like a mini push into
Right.
like nothing because you like get rid of the win instantly.
Yeah, it just didn't make a lot of sense booking wise.
Yeah.
And then you just bury in Rusev. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
He is literally the most over in
Yeah.
sales
Besides Daniel
for
Bryan,
merchandise.
Yeah. Besides D-Bry.
Yeah.
As a match, I thought it was okay though.
Yeah, it was okay.
It had some good spots.
There was a spot where Rusev hit the super kick on Orton,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and I was like, all right, it's over. And then Jinder just came out of nowhere.
And
I was like,
when's the
wait,
match?
what?
And what are they doing with Bobby? Like,
He's on Raw, so
do you think it's gonna help him? Or
No.
I think it could.
it could.
I think Bobby has like great opening music, and that
Yes.
really helps for getting like an opening ovation and everything.
Mhm.
I've always thought he could be like a top level heel, but
Yeah, I'm waiting on it to happen.
they have to book him right.
Right.
That's the thing.
I'm waiting on them to turn him heel because I think that's the only thing that'll probably help him at
Yeah.
this point.
I think he's a lot better as a heel
He
than
is
he is
very
as a
good as a heel.
face.
Mhm.
But yeah, so the match was okay. The fallout afterwards wasn't so great.
Right.
So then the next match was probably probably the most talked about match off the card, and it was the mixed tag match with Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey defeating Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah, I thought they did it. I thought it was perfect.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it was. I was very surprised because when I heard Ronda was going to be in this match, I was like,
What?
I was scared.
come on, please.
What are you guys doing?
Uh,
It was great.
But they did. I think Triple H finally sold for someone the right way.
yeah, yeah.
Even though it was a little campy and corny when he was doing with the punches and everything. But I mean,
It was awesome though.
It was
Yeah,
good.
it was great.
I have no complaints other than, I mean, Steph holding off that armbar for so long is like ridiculous. But I understand why they did it.
Watching Ronda Rousey pick Triple H up on her shoulders though.
Yeah.
Oh,
was
yeah,
like,
that was
holy
awesome.
shit! Like that was.
It was awesome. It was a good match. It was everything I thought it should be. Only thing is, I don't know how they're gonna book Ronda from here on out, though.
Well, you ever? Okay, I thought as a match it was probably the best like debut match I've ever seen somebody had. I feel like Ronda came off as the best worker in this ring with Triple H and Kurt Angle in it. Let's see. It definitely seemed like Stephanie didn't know what she was doing.
When does she ever though? Like,
Yeah,
she always looks like every time she gets in there and wrestles,
she always makes this like confused face. I don't know if anyone else has ever noticed like Stephanie's confused.
I mean, her
face.
husband is a 13-time world champion.
I mean, let's not forget
Teach her
she held the
something,
belt
Triple
too,
H.
though, which that just makes it even more ridiculous when you think about it.
Uh-huh.
That's right. She was women's champ. Oh, that's a bad thing. That's a bad thought.
I think like going forward with Ronda, they're gonna pair her with Natalia because that's. I mean, that's what
God.
it looked like.
Do you see her going heel?
Do I see Ronda going heel? My thing is like, why would you? You can turn her heel, but why would you turn her heel?
I think that's the best option for her because it's always easier to especially because somebody's so polarizing. Like we always say about Roman Reigns, like just turn him heel because he's already at this point where most people don't like him, right?
Yeah.
Ronda kind of had that same thing before she got into wrestling. So
yeah. You know, I don't know. My big thing is Ronda's still like really famous and everything.
Yeah,
so
I was gonna say I don't see her
like,
turning for a while.
turning her heel to me just kind of like takes away
Kills
from
the
that.
buzz and kills the fan
Yeah,
base.
it kills like her aura and everything.
And when I say turn her heel, I'm talking that Brock Lesnar heel.
Paul Heyman. I'm just
Yeah.
saying right now, if she ever goes heel, they need to give her Paul Heyman.
I've always thought like I feel like they need to just give her a manager though because like Ronda can't do like 20-minute promos.
Exactly.
No.
And that's what like they always look for. But yeah, as a match, I think it was like the best like debut match for like a person ever.
Yes.
Yeah, so going into the next match, we had the SmackDown Tag Team Championship Triple Threat match. The Bludgeon Brothers, the greatest tag team of all time, defeating the Usos and the New Day. How'd you guys feel about this match?
I hated it.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Why did you hate
well,
this?
I love the fact that they finally were pushing the Usos because the Usos have been there for so long.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then I feel like they were finally at the top of that push, and then they just kind of knocked them off the ladder and just said, "Hey, have fun, guys."
I think I get what you're saying because
Yeah.
the Usos have been doing excellent work, kind of like on that Miz level where
Oh yeah, the Usos have been
crazy.
the
killing
team
it.
that nobody wants to win, but they're doing such great work. You kind of have to like them. But what I will say is, I think eventually it's going to turn out in the long run better for them because whatever they're doing with this story. If they're building it the way I think they're building it, the Usos and New Day are going to be the ones to really come out on top when it's all said and done.
Personally, for me though, too, like regarding Usos, I feel like they've actually done a really good job for themselves because when they first started, it was like, oh, those are Rikishi's kids.
Yep.
Now it's like when you hear people talk about the Usos, they don't necessarily say, oh, yeah, those are Rikishi's boys. They say, oh, hey, Jimmy and Jay Uso, those guys are great.
Yeah.
Or, like, those guys just put on a hell of a show against New Day. Where, hey, even though they got kicked down the ramp and destroyed by Bludgeon Brothers, they still put on a hell of a show.
Well, this is my question. Speaking of the Bludgeon Brothers, like, do you think it's going to get over or is it kind of dead in the water?
Who's going to be the ones who beat them? Like, that's my big thing because, like, SmackDown has, like, no tag teams. Like, after the draft, they have, like, no tag teams.
Well, they just got Gallows and Anderson and Sheamus and Cesaro.
Right.
Oh, they got Gallows and Anderson?
Yep.
Yeah.
They
Was that, like, a Twitter one?
Yeah. They did, like, what do you call it, vignette thing?
Yeah, vignette
and
thing.
they had
I-
AJ come down and too sweet him.
Yeah.
And stuff. So
I know they announced Sanity was going to be on SmackDown.
Without Nikki Cross.
Yeah,
Yep.
without Nikki Cross.
Which is so
why are they
stupid.
getting rid of all the managers for the people that's coming up? What do you think that's happening? Which
Vin-
I mean, I guess we'll talk about that.
Do you
later,
want the
but-
real reason?
Yeah,
Vince doesn't like managers.
you think that's what it is?
No, that's what it
No,
is.
no,
Vince
that's-
has never liked
yeah, so
managers.
that's I guarantee that's what it is.
Yeah, like
Old man Vince, man. I think, wow, that's a subject we maybe need to touch on because like everything that Triple H has been doing is actually doing pretty well to me. I like
Mhm.
the stuff he's doing. At some point, do you think Vince is just gonna hand over the keys, or
I think
When
when the
he's
XFL
dead.
starts,
you think
in-
that's the
I
moment?
think that
I
that's
think
when we're
yeah.
going to be seeing the transition a lot more.
I
I was
agree.
really disappointed when they brought up Offers of Pain,
And
they
took away
took
Paul Ellering.
Paul
Yeah,
El-
it
Sir
just didn't
Paul
make
Ellering,
sense.
like off of them, and then I
Man.
was like, he was their heat.
Oh man,
Personally, to me though, from what I've been hearing, I heard that Paul is staying in NXT to help newer guys
Mhm.
Okay, I can
work
get
up
that.
because of how he's been there for. I mean, not in. Well, I mean, he's been around for
He's
God,
been
years.
like 10, 20, or well,
So-
not 10 years, but like
He's a while.
30, 40 years at this point.
And with the Authors of Pain, man, like it's something I noticed. And I don't think I ever really noticed it before. The one guy is really big and he fits the part,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the one other guy, it seems like he's kind of like he
He's
doesn't fit
timid.
the mold. Even I was showing, and my wife was watching it with me, and what ended up happening was a guy was fake making himself big.
Yeah, yeah.
In the ring, she was like, "Why is he doing that?" So I just don't see it working out.
Wait, Ro, do you know the Offers of Pain's names?
No, I don't.
Okay, awesome. Because
Nobody
the
does.
last episode, like
Nobody
I had,
does.
I'm like, I've been
I
watching
know
these
one
guys.
starts with a K.
It's-
Razor and
Razor and Acom.
yeah, Razor and
Well,
Yankum.
it doesn't even start with a K. Acom. That's
Yeah, like Tristan and I, Tristan and I were talking about this on the last episode. I was like, I've been watching the Offers of Pain wrestle for like 2 years now. I still have no idea either
no
guy's name.
personality, man. That's
Like,
all it
yeah, no personality, no
Doesn't
heat.
connect.
It's just, it's bad.
It's gonna be another what was the group name?
Ascension.
Ascension.
Yeah.
Ascension.
I think that there'd be like Apollo Crews, where like they
Absolutely.
just struggle on the mid card
Yep.
because they have like nothing going for. Like Apollo is at the bare minimum like a good wrestler, but like they really brought him up like too fast. He
Yeah.
didn't have his personality. But yeah, so moving on from there though, we have Undertaker jobbing out John Cena in 5 minutes.
Was it really 5 minutes?
It was 5
seemed
minutes.
Like it was about a minute.
that long. Yeah.
It went 4 minutes. I was checking Pro Fight DB before this, but yeah. How did you guys feel about this?
I liked it.
I
What?
liked the match.
What?
I did. I just liked the match because I like, what are they gonna do? Have this elaborate match? It was what I thought they would do, but only thing I was mad about is how they made John Cena look like a jerk. Like they made him look like the whole fan thing.
Yeah.
Come on, man. John Cena's too great to be doing that. And
That
I don't
was-
even
that
like
was
John
good, though.
Cena.
I tell you what, we were laughing because there was
Yeah,
a
I
part
thought it was hilarious.
when he was sitting in the audience and he had a beer in his hand.
Yeah,
he
like-
went to take a sip, and then the camera panned to him, and he slowly set it down. Like, I'm not drinking a beer.
John Cena is great at that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I don't know, man. I think they could have booked it differently, and I would have been just as happy.
You know what? I bet you if you asked Nikki Bella, she'd say something different.
We shouldn't comment on that right
Right.
now. This is Mania
Uh,
talk. I think, okay, and this is a citation needed for the future, okay?
Mhm.
If they're going to build into it for next year is going to be this great elaborate showdown between John Cena and Undertaker.
Okay.
I think this was fine.
Yeah.
But I think if this is just a one-off, I think you
Makes
wasted
no
John Cena because like John's not on full-time schedule anymore.
I've heard multiple times from not even from anything, but from Dave Meltzer and a couple other the
Mhm.
news guys, but even Cena himself has even said that he would never lose to Taker at Mania, which to me I'm like, that's cool, I respect that. But at the same time, it's
I mean,
like,
did he give a reason why he wouldn't?
no,
No?
not that I don't remember
I think it's
correctly.
a
I
respect
Interesting.
think
thing.
he just said that he would never lose to him because the fact that Mania is Taker's thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean he would never?
never win against
against
Yeah.
Taker?
Undertaker.
Yeah.
he would
okay,
never.
okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he
Yeah,
would never
yeah.
beat Taker.
I was about to say that just really confused. I was like, wow,
Wait, what?
that's very arrogant. But
That's
okay.
very arrogant. That is. So then the next match, we had our tag team match. We had the GOAT, Daniel Bryan, coming back with Shane McMahon,
Okay, Matt.
defeating Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, as the fans know them as Cammy.
Is that what they're called?
Yes.
No,
Cam.
that's what I call them.
Yeah.
Oh, I was
It
gonna
was
say, is
some-
that really
they
what they're
have
called?
been calling them something similar to that. I forgot
I think
what
it's
it-
like Camden or something like
yeah,
that.
something
Yeah.
like that. They're giving them some kind of cheesy name.
Yeah,
like
no.
Cam
like,
Zane or
see, this way,
Cam
this
in or
is
something?
this doubles as like a Street Fighter reference because you get the Cammy. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, what did you think about this match, Tristan?
It was amazing.
Really?
Yeah, I know a lot of people were kind of like, it wasn't too bad, but I'll tell you what, they really played into the part of making it look like Daniel Bryan got hurt.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did.
That was great. And then when
Mhm.
he just came in and started hitting those drop kicks, and I tell you what, the greatest thing about that match was when he hit that rope and he hit that backflip.
Yeah.
Knowing that for like the past 3 years that he couldn't, he could barely walk, but knowing that he couldn't hit a backflip like he used to, but watching him run up that rope and backflip off of it and hit it and then just hit those drop kicks,
Mm-hmm.
God, no words.
You know, like when Shawn Michaels came back from retirement in 1996,
Is that
and
when he lost his smile?
yeah, when he came back from that, and like he had that match, and he proved that he was like still the best worker and everything like that.
That's what Daniel Bryan did.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of, and it was just so rewarding, I
Yeah.
guess, to see D-Bry wrestle again.
Yeah, I mean, I was excited to see him back in the ring. I do have one complaint. It was a little too much Shane O'Mac time.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Other than
good
that,
old
it was
McMahon.
good.
You got to get all that McMahon time in there.
I'm a little over the Shane O'Mac, the hardest man alive gimmick. But
I was
Other
hoping
than
he
that-
was gonna jump off of something.
I mean, he jumped from rope to rope.
Yeah.
You know, I'll give him
Right.
that. But
I'll give him that.
I want to see more Daniel Bryan. I was a little concerned when he was off to the side for so long, and I was like, I mean, is he really hurt, or are they just kind of, working us? But
I was waiting for the crowd to start chanting Daniel's sleeping, kind of like they did against Roman years ago.
Yeah, but they're not going
was-
to chant that to D-Bry, though.
no.
They actually respect D-Bry.
I'll tell you what though, his gear looked sweet.
Yeah, his
Yes.
gear was so cool looking.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, another person who had cool gear was Miz.
Yeah. Miz
like
had
it?
the
Oh yeah, that was
Miz
cool.
had the
The Mole
Naruto
Man.
headband.
It was a Mole Man outfit. No.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, it looked like the Mole. I don't know if you ever seen in the Incredibles, the guy comes
Yeah,
up
yeah.
and that's what
Yeah.
it looked like to me.
The Underminer.
The Underminer.
Yeah.
I like the jacket, but the hat and mask thing, no.
I seen that. Now that you mention that though, I could see that.
It's the Underminer.
I tell you what though, when Mustafa came out, I swear I
Oh,
thought
yeah.
it was Seth Rollins.
With the Injustice gear.
Because I was like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, why is Rollins in it? Because we even said the same thing sitting there. It was like, why is Seth Rollins in this match? And then it's
Yeah,
like, oh wait,
okay.
that's not Rollins, that's Mustafa.
Are you either you guys Game of Thrones fans?
Yeah. Seth came out.
How did you feel about that?
Okay, I'm actually not a Game of Thrones fan, but I understood the reference.
Mhm.
I thought it was okay.
It was. I'm a Game of Thrones super fan, and
Mm-hmm.
I like that he did it, but it didn't go over the way I think it.
I think
wanted
he
it to.
thought like that they would get like a bunch of people
Mhm.
dressed up as White Walkers.
If they
and
would have
be
did that,
this-
it would have been so much better.
yeah, and it would be this like cool entrance. But
Maybe
I guess
they-
they thought let's not do that because
Maybe
that
they
would
spent
cost
too
more
much money on
Yeah,
those motorcycles they bought for
Or
us.
all those people on Balor's entrance.
yeah,
Which was that was cool
entrance.
though.
that was
too.
actually cool.
yeah.
though. I
Bowers
liked
was
it.
really cool.
You're watching all those people come out with Balor. And it was like they all timed that perfectly too,
Mhm.
and they all just raised their arms up. I was like, okay, that was cool. I was
Mhm.
kind of hoping we were gonna get Demon Balor though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing that at Mania,
Well,
Oof.
I think like their thing is they don't want him to lose when he's demon mode or whatever.
Mhm.
So,
Bring it out for the right person.
but it's been like 9 months since like he's busted out the demon. So I
the
kind of
last person was what against
Bray
Bray.
Wyatt.
no, he didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he brought it out against Bray.
that one Bray Wyatt match.
That match was horrible.
Because
Yeah.
he was supposed to because of the next match he was supposed to be Sister Abigail,
Mhm.
but then that whole thing got like
Destroyed.
canned.
Then we got Balor versus AJ Styles though.
And that was a good
Yeah.
match.
I would. Oh, I tell you, shoosh.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh.
So then the next match was the Raw Women's Championship match. We had Nia Jax defeating Alexia Blissia.
I like the fact that Nia finally got the belt, but I mean, I'm actually a fan of Alexa Bliss, even though she doesn't really wrestle as much.
Same.
But I think it was fine.
I hated this whole storyline.
You didn't like it?
I hated the storyline of like
The bullying thing.
like, oh yeah, Nia's so strong. Yeah, women's revolution. Our storyline is that we call this girl fat. Like,
right? Yeah, it was too much, and especially because they've been building that they're friends for so long. Like,
I thought it would have been better if they worked Nia as the heel, but I mean, I guess, as a match, it was like kind of just a squash match though. So it was fine.
I will say this: the way they booked it made me like Nia more, because I wanted her to win just because she was I'm a monster guy.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
the
So you
monster.
wanted the monster.
I wanted the monster to win, but it did make me like her a little more.
Yeah. I liked the booking of the match. I liked the pacing and everything. It was what it needed to be. Nothing more, nothing less. And then the next match was our WWE Championship match. We had AJ Styles defeating Shinsuke Nakamura.
I thought you honestly skipped that one because I was kind of reading it over your shoulders, and I seen you go right past it. And I was like, why aren't we talking about that one, man?
Because
We're saving the best for last.
No, there's actually still quite a few more matches.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's at least 2 more, right?
Yeah,
two more.
And Brock.
How did you guys feel about this match?
I thought it was great.
I just thought it was okay.
Yeah, I was disappointed.
I was disappointed.
Yes, I was a little disappointed with it too. I really was hoping. I was really hoping Nakamura was going to win it. But I mean, I like the fact that they turned Nakamura heel, because now that means we're going to get AJ Styles Nakamura not once, but we're probably going to get it 2 or 3 more times.
Yeah.
I just think like the match was too overhyped. I think people overhyped it way too much.
Like, oh, this is the match of the year, and then it was like, what was that?
And like, I don't think they had enough time. That was the other thing, because this match only went like 15 minutes.
Must have been a Road Dogg match.
I just think it was too much hype and not enough time for it.
Even speaking on the overhype, I didn't back then. I really didn't watch New Japan Wrestling, so I went back and watched the match with him and with Shinsuke and AJ.
The match is great.
It was a great match.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, so it got me expecting something awesome, and I think because I expected so much from the match, it just was like,
it was just there.
it was just good. Okay,
I saw some people say it was horrible. It definitely wasn't.
I don't think it was. Horrible.
It was definitely not the worst match on this card, because the next match is the worst one.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is Braun Strowman
Absolutely.
and Nicholas
And this is hard for me to say.
defeating Sheamus Cesaro. Yeah, this was bad. Okay, so this has been like, this was puzzling to me, because they've done this angle before where like the big monster gets like a little kid or something, a joke tag opponent.
I was hoping the kid wasn't gonna be real, and it was just gonna be like Bobby Lashley's music hit, and he was gonna come out and be Braun's partner.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it was a waste.
I saw the thing is like, it's supposed to go. The babyface is supposed to beat up the heels for like a couple months, and then like the heels are supposed to pin the kid to win in like 3 months down the line. But I guess they didn't think like that. I don't
know what the thinking was, but I think they just missed a lot of big opportunities, because like you said, you could have brought in a Bobby Lashley, or how fantastic would it have been? And I know you guys don't like him, but how fantastic would it have been to bring in James Ellsworth?
Oh, that would have been hilarious.
That would have been the best.
That would have been
great.
I would have screamed. I would have been like, yeah, oh my God.
Bring him back, make him his tag partner, and he could lose the belt the
Yeah.
next night if you want to. It would just make more sense to me.
Let's see. I thought it was going to be like Ray Jr. was going to be the one, but I mean, this was bad. I can't figure anything really positive to say about this. I guess Nicholas got over.
Oh, I mean, he got over because
he got over with his class.
Yeah, he got over.
He's gonna be the most popular kid in school now because the fact that he teamed with Braun Strowman at WrestleMania 34.
I think this had a little touch of Braun Strowman in it, because like just me following him online and kind of looking into.
He's a cool guy.
He's a cool
Oh
guy.
yeah, he's
you know,
a really
so
cool guy.
I think they gave him the opportunity to kind of just do what you want. You did so good this year. Just do what you want to do.
Right.
That's a good thing, but at the same time, I mean, it's WrestleMania.
kind of a waste. Like,
Yeah.
why put Braun Strowman in a match with a kid? I mean, I give him credit. The match was okay, but personally, I didn't understand it. Like, they
Yeah.
wasted. To me, I feel like they wasted a lot of time. Or I
Mhm.
feel like it was kind of like, oh man, we rushed this Nakamura Styles match,
I don't know if you
but
guys
we need more time.
read the story online where is it Okada from
Yeah,
New
Kazuchika
Japan?
Okada.
He was in the crowd.
Yeah, and so was Tetsuya Naito.
And they were trying to get him to pull him into the crowd.
Yeah,
I
like,
mean, that would have been awesome.
They were like pulling at the cameramen and stuff to try
Yeah.
and get them on
Well,
TV.
I noticed too, like when he went around the corner and they panned into like the audience by their when they showed the ring,
Yeah.
it showed all the NXT guys.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one I noticed was No Way Jose,
And you
Yeah,
thought he was
yeah.
gonna pull
and I
him in.
was like, no, dear God, no,
You don't like Jose?
No,
no.
Way, Jose.
no way, no way, Jose.
Yeah, so moving on, we have the Universal Championship match. We have Brock Lesnar defeating the Big Red Dog, Roman Reigns.
You said that wrong.
No, he's the
You got it.
because
It's
he
like
was bleeding in this match.
Brock.
Brock Lesnar.
That was
Do,
good.
do. Defeating the Big Dog, Borman Reigns.
Yeah.
That was like worst match of the night.
I don't think it
I
was
don't
the
even want to
worst
talk
match.
about that one. I'm just ready to write that one off and just.
I don't think it was the worst match.
Oh no, it was
man.
worst. Worst.
The crowd hated it though.
Well, yeah, when the crowd is chanting bullshit.
So
and
there's
this is
been
boring.
this like interesting debate online after this match about like
what happened with Brock and
no,
why
no,
Roman
no, no,
bled.
no, about like people. Okay, so people in like the wrestling business, actual wrestlers have said like fans shouldn't boo.
Mm-hmm.
But then like every fan says, well, I
We
spent
pay.
money, so I can voice my opinion, and like I agree with that wholeheartedly because like okay, if I buy a bad game, I'm gonna be like, this game sucks.
Yeah,
or
right.
if I see a bad movie, I'm gonna be like, this movie sucks. You know.
Yeah, if you put out merchandise, no matter what the merchandise is, and if people don't like it, they have the right to voice their opinion.
Yeah.
That's part of the user agreement to me.
Right.
If I spend my money, I have a right to boo or cheer or however I want. Now, the thing is, this is wrestling. We all have an understanding that, is I don't like to use the word not real, but we know the matches are predetermined.
Yeah.
So you can't be mad because the person you wanted to win didn't win, but you have to absolutely have the right to voice your opinion about it.
Mm-hmm. Like, I get the whole like if you don't like it, you can be silent or whatever. But it's like
Why be silent if you paid on your own?
yeah,
hard-earned
if
money?
I paid like I know some people who paid like $10,000 for tickets to WrestleMania, like
can imagine.
after everything,
Mm-hmm.
hotel and all that stuff.
Airfare, all that.
And like you're dang right they have all right to say like, yeah, this sucked. Like
Now this is the question. So for me,
mhm.
I had multiple things that I didn't like about the match because like the whole Brock Lesnar style of match to me is
it's so
old.
boring now. Yeah.
I'm tired of seeing him suplex city somebody 28 times during the
Mhm.
match, and that's it. No other moves besides 1 or 2 F5s.
Yeah, they say John Cena has 5 moves to do him, but I think Brock is the
Brock
captain.
knows
of
like
that.
3
He's
moves.
got
Yeah,
F5,
literally.
suplex
And then like
1,
a couple
suplex
of
2,
like
suplex
really hard
3.
punches.
Yeah, and then he added the ground and pound now with the elbow
I
shot.
Mhm.
tell you what, though, there was that part where Roman went in for that spear and he jumped up with that knee. That was brutal.
that was cool.
Yeah,
It was cool, but you could, I swear,
Oh,
we
yeah, I
talked
thought
about
he,
it. You
like,
could see that
concussed
he
him,
hit
yeah.
him.
yeah.
I thought he killed him.
That's just like when he hit Brian.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
When he hit Brian with the knee. I mean, he's gonna take a shot at you. Obviously, do you think the nick he put on Roman was like supposed to happen or
I was reading that it was like a shoot
okay?
that they were doing that they had to do it the hard way. I just don't get why they would though, because like
Me
the
either.
last time they did it the hard way, Randy got a concussion.
Right.
Well, if you think about it I was thinking about it too. The last time Brock and Roman fought at Mania, Roman left Brock bloody. He left him bruised, and he
Yeah,
left him
yeah.
in the ring in a pool of his own blood.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Brock returned the favor.
Okay.
This year he returned it by leaving Roman laying in a pool of his own blood. And at first we had talked about it days after. We had thought that like maybe it was like a blood capsule because
there was a lot of blood.
It was a lot of blood.
Awkward tint of red though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't look dark
it was
enough.
Very red.
But then I went back and I watched another clip where Roman was bleeding from his mouth.
Oh yeah.
And it was about that same color red. So I was like, maybe it's just he's got an awkward tint of red. But
Could be.
Maybe.
he I seriously thought they were gonna stop it because I know. Like, New Orleans has their own set of rules because we went over it at work. It was like no pile drivers, no tombstones,
No pile drivers.
no flips, no blood.
Yep.
I can tell you right now, all the money that Vince McMahon probably had to pay out of pocket for all the fines that he did.
Oh, yeah.
He probably had, I swear, probably about $1 million in fines because, like, with the amount of tombstone and moonsaults.
Yeah.
Charlotte hit a moonsault. I think Mustafa hit a moonsault.
Everyone does.
I think Rollins hit a moonsault.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody was doing flips, and I mean, I understand their rules.
Well, see, I think they might have. What I read was they gave some exceptions to them,
Yeah.
so they may not have paid fines.
I'm sure they did for the blood, though.
For the blood, probably.
Being a PG product and there being a pool of blood, that color, or not color, but
Right.
I mean, like it looked like a bad cut because I know most of the time, like when the guys blade, they do it in the crease of the eyebrow.
Mm-hmm.
I know years ago it was that me and Will talked about it. It was that JBL Eddie Guerrero match at Judgment Day.
Where
But Eddie cut the top of his head. And when JBL hit him with the chair, he practically bled to death.
Yeah, he did it way too.
You could tell at
deep.
one point. I actually think Roman cut himself.
Yeah.
Because there was a part where it looked like the ref went over to check on him after he hit them with the elbows, and then right after that, Roman set up. And then it was like right after that he rubbed his forehead and kind of looked at his hand like, oh man. And then like right after that, Brock hit him with that elbow, and then that was when he started bleeding like crazy.
I mean, he had a big knot on his head too.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's
He had
hard.
a knot and a dent.
Yeah, it's hard to fake a knot. So, I mean, whatever happened, that part of it was real.
It's not believable.
You said it's not believable.
Not believable.
No, going off the pun of knots.
I hated Roman kicking out of the F5 like 5 times. That was awful. But
Yeah,
I
if Taker can't kick out of 3, how come Roman can kick out of 5?
Mm-hmm.
I think like overall this Mania was just kind of forgettable to me. Like
It was too long.
the good matches weren't like good enough to the point to where I'd say, okay, you definitely need to at least watch this match.
Mm-hmm.
Like even the Charlotte and Asuka match was like it was a great match,
But
but
it wasn't like a 5-star.
no, especially compared to like NXT Takeover, which was
Exactly.
the night before.
Ooh.
That
Which
was like
amazing.
that had like 2 5-star matches on it,
Exactly.
you know?
We were
Like,
talking about 2 5-star matches. There was like 4 5-star matches that
Well,
night.
I know the two. I mean, a ladder match, and then it was
Johnny Gargano and
Johnny
Tommaso
Gargano.
Ciampa.
That was 2.
Yeah.
And then you had, the ladder match. So
Uh,
there's your 2. Then you had the tag team title match.
Yep.
Then you had Aleister and Andrade.
Yeah, like
Alistair was. I mean, that was a good match. I
Alistair
enjoyed it,
was.
I
man,
wouldn't.
he was
I'm not
I
even
like
gonna count
Aleister.
Ember
Yeah.
and Shayna though, because that to me was like a 3-star.
That was a good match though.
It was kind of crappy.
But yeah, WrestleMania definitely fell flat for me. It was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was like you said, the hype of everything that was, because I was actually pretty excited about some of the stuff that was going on during this one, but
Mm-hmm.
it didn't pan out as much as I wanted it to.
Yeah. And I'm gonna give it a thumbs down as well.
Yeah. Wham, wham, wham. So overall though, what would you guys rate like star rating all of WrestleMania?
The entire thing,
Yeah, like the entirety.
2
Out of how
1/4
many
star.
out of 3 or out of 5,
Like
Out of 5.
5.
Out of 5.
I'd say like I'll give it 2.5.
I'll give it a 3.
I'll
Yeah.
give it 2
I'll
and a
give it, like,
quarter.
right under. I'll right under a 3 because of the Triple H motorcycle.
So
stuff.
that 2.98.
that took away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that takes it. I can't give it
2.98
a
out of
3
5.
because of those motorcycles.
Yeah, I personally, I don't know. I'd give it like a 3. The one thing I really liked was the pyro. Like that's one
Oh,
thing
yeah,
that they
pyro
made
was
that
cool.
day. I wish
yeah.
they would use it more. But
Well,
I mean,
that-
I could get it. You
that
do the
costs
I think
cost.
it's-
money, man.
And also would think because it was an outdoor stadium, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was.
It wasn't?
I think it was the first Mania that's not been in an outdoor stadium in a
I
long
thought it was
time.
an outdoor.
I thought it was
stadium.
outdoor.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I could have sworn at one point when
The
they panned
lighting
up,
made it look like
Yeah,
it
say
was
when
an
they-
indoor
maybe
stadium.
that's what it
but-
was.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just know it was, to me,
Mhm.
it was too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on at 5 o'clock and went off at 12:30.
That was the other part of it. It was entirely too long.
Yeah.
Personally, to me, if they're gonna do that, what they should do is put Mania on Saturday and then do takeovers on Sunday. So that way here, because there's people that sit there and watch it, and then they got to get up and go to work the next morning. I know, like me and you, we had to work the
We
next
had to work
morning.
the next
Mhm.
morning, so it was like trying to stay up to watch it was like.
And then, you still got that adrenaline and excitement.
Mhm.
So it's like you're falling asleep at 3 in the morning, got to get up at 5, and then it's like, oh, man,
Man, this sucks.
this
Yeah.
sucks.
Especially after watching that last match, I was like,
It's like, what a great way to end it, guys. Should have put this guy on
Thanks.
first. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Thanks for sending me to bed angry.
All right, you guys. So we're going to be taking a 15-minute break here. When we come back, we're going to
Gonna
be discussing some more stuff that's been going on.
Superstar shakeup.
Yeah, the draft.
Superstar shakeup. I'm
Right.
excited.
why not just call it the draft?
Yeah, whatever.
Because-
Call it the draft.
Because,
It's
man,
the superstar shakeup.
yeah, because we can't be compared to real sports.
I really liked that outro thing you just played.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Void Wrestling Podcast, episode 5, coming to you live from the Podcast Detroit studios in Royal Oak, Michigan, and the Podcast Detroit app, coming from Studio 4. And now we're going to jump into the Superstar Shakeup.
Yep.
So, I know personally, for Rose purposes, the draft.
I mean, I think you just call it what it is. It's a draft, and they should have played on the fact that it's draft. Give them, let them actually go back and forth and pick.
Yeah.
I think it would just made it more interesting.
You know what was like the best year for the draft was
Last year.
2005 when they did like week after week somebody new would get drafted and like it really came off like a sports event. Like
They did it for like, what, a month?
Yeah, for a month. And then like it ended with John Cena going to Raw and Batista going to SmackDown, and they changed championships and everything.
Yeah, I think that would have been cool. And then you give it time, you can play out different stories as it goes through. That would have made more sense too.
But yeah, so take us through this draft, Tristan.
So from SmackDown Live to Monday Night Raw, the first draft for Monday Night Raw was Jinder Mahal.
So the funny thing about Jinder is like now he's feuding with your favorite wrestler, No Way Jose, or at least that's what it looked like they were going to build into. That's pretty incredible to me. Jinder is just so talented, and I love him so much. He's so great.
I can really feel the sarcasm in that.
It's just he's so great, man. Like he tries everything and fails at everything. So I'll give it to him. It's impressive. Yeah. So Jinder, first draft pick, not the best one, but let's go forward.
Yeah. So then we had Ruby Riott and Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan from the Riott Squad.
Yeah.
It just didn't make sense to me. But
I mean, if they want to keep Absolution relevant, you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah. If they want to keep them important, I feel it was a good move to move how they moved those two to Raw, or from Raw to SmackDown, and then moved the Riott Squad to Raw.
I would agree with you if, like,
Paige
on
still
this,
wrestled.
if on this episode of Raw, they didn't kick out Absolution by like having Ronda Rousey just destroy
them, which I told you they were going to try to play on. What's her name? Being an MMA person.
Yeah.
Like I see it coming even more. Like some way, somehow they're going to end up making her like either her and Ronda's going to join teams.
But then what's the point though? Because like they just had like Ronda just destroy her in 2 seconds. It makes
then they're
no
going to
sense.
join. They're going to be like the new Mr. Raj to Ronda Rousey.
Oh my god, that's so bad.
Yep.
Then we had Cammy, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn.
This was the only draft from SmackDown to Raw of worth, in my opinion.
Yep.
I like the way they did it too.
Yeah.
The way they did it too.
Yeah, that was awesome. How
Kurt Angle's like, "Oh, you guys aren't welcome here," and then Sammy and Kevin are like, "Oh, hey, we got an email, so sorry, but you're wrong. We're here. We're not going nowhere."
I just love Sami Zayn as a heel. So
yes, heel Sami Zayn is so
awesome.
great.
Personally, I think what's the coolest thing about this is the fact that not only are Sammy and Kevin Owens absent from social media, but now Kevin Steen and El Generico have popped back up again.
I thought that was great.
Especially Generico, because he's been down in Mexico with those
the
orphans.
The orphanins.
The orphans. Apparently, none of us can talk.
So
least important, Zack Ryder from SmackDown Live.
Dude, he announced this on Twitter. Like, this is how important Zach is.
It's on brand, I guess.
I guess so. Next one.
Then we had
these are my favorites.
Yeah, Fandango and Tyler Breeze, the Fashion Police.
Breezango, right?
I mean, I did like how they introduced them. I thought that was awesome. But I think they're going right to the bottom.
Yeah. So the Fashion Files kind of ran its course, especially when they did the whole like 4 months without a opponent, and I really just feel like that hindered it really badly. But yeah, I think it could be entertaining though. Still,
yeah.
And then we have Natalia. I think she should have stayed on SmackDown.
I'm fine with her on Raw, but okay, so SmackDown seems like they have no divas now, but I don't know. I felt like with this draft though, like SmackDown got the better end of of the deal
Yeah,
for
even
once.
though so like that was my thing is we talked about it before, and I talked about it with Akeem.
Yeah.
Is with Raw they had I felt like there was too much going on.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
with Lashley coming back
Mm-hmm.
and all the debuts, I was like I felt
You
like
got
I
the
was
big
lost.
four sitting at the top.
Mm-hmm.
That like they're just sitting at the top fighting for the Intercontinental Championship belt, and it's like, what are you doing with? You got Finn, Shane, Seth Rollins, and
Miz.
and I mean the ones they have left because Miz left. I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you got these people all at the top which was Joe, all those people. So I thought they had to mix it up. So
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't mad at them moving. I thought they should have moved at least one more person over.
Personally, I was telling I was hoping they were going to move Rollins to SmackDown.
Yep. But the Monday Night Rollins thing had just started.
Whatever.
So
Yeah.
Then we had Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, who are now a new tag team.
So I think that this was the one, like, nobody cared about Dolph Ziggler. But then, like, once Drew McIntyre, I always go to call him Galloway, but, same difference.
Same person.
Yeah.
Same person,
I
different
think,
day.
like, when people saw Drew, they actually got interested.
yeah, I mean I did.
I saw a couple people say that, like, they're going to be the new two dudes with attitude.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels and Diesel
I
type thing.
don't know about that because, I don't think Dolph is as good as Shawn Michaels was. But, I think it's interesting. Yeah, this seemed like a good move to me.
Then we got Jobber Alley of Baron Corbin, Connor and Victor, Mojo Rawley, Mike Kanellis, and Chad Gable.
This is pretty much the nobody cares. Chad Gable was the only one really interesting to me because I think they're gonna do like.
Personally, I don't know. I think Mike can do a good job.
I think Mike could, but I don't think they. I think they've done It's Too Little, Too Late with Mike.
They need
Yeah, I
a
didn't
he
even
needs a new theme song.
He
I didn't
needs a
know who
new
you were
theme.
talking
He needs
about
a
when you
new
said Mike.
everything.
I didn't even know who you were talking about.
He needs a
Personally,
new
Mike-
name.
The fact that they called him Mike
Kanellis.
to me is like an insult.
I think I know his wife more than I know him.
Yeah.
And then of course Bobby Roode.
Bobby Roode. Yeah.
I saved the best for last because to me Bobby is probably the best one. Besides Drew McIntyre
Mm-hmm.
and Kevin and Sammy, but
Yeah.
Bobby is probably the best they picked up. So personally though,
It seemed
Raw got 19 superstars.
It seemed like Raw
Where-
didn't gut SmackDown as bad as they normally do.
SmackDown got only 14.
I think that's because it's a 3-hour show.
Yeah, 3 hours to 2 hours.
Yeah, that's the
Longer
only
show
thing.
needs more people.
Yeah.
But so SmackDown though,
Yeah. So let's go
SmackDown
through
to me
SmackDown.
personally got the best. Of the
Yeah,
list.
yeah.
Because they got new United States champion Jeff Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Jeff could. I think if they're willing to push him right,
He could take a long run with that U.S. title.
I think he could. I don't even think just that. I think he could go for the world title.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
think he could be a higher mid carder.
Yeah.
I think he can do what they intended for Dolph to do there. He could be that person that they intended,
Mandy Rose.
Yeah, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville.
Yep.
Joining new GM Page.
Yep.
I mean, they're pushing Mandy Rose pretty hard, so hopefully that, because I just see them, she has the look they're looking for.
Yeah.
They're pushing her really hard.
Fine
You
by
can tell
me.
just by the commentary. Hey, I'm not complaining at all either.
Right, fine by me.
And I even like Sonya Deville. I mean, as far as, I get the whole fake MMA storyline,
I
but
don't like that one
I
bit.
don't like that part of it. But I mean, her in general.
I think she actually has a background in MMA.
She
But
okay.
it's like a
I explained this before,
It was
Tristan.
major loss.
if I go
No,
to
no,
the
no.
so
She
if I go to the gym
trained-
and train as an MMA person, that does not qualify
his
me
dude's an MMA
as having
fighter.
an MMA background.
CM
Background.
Punk.
You're right.
Well, but at least he fought, and at least he fought a fight. Like,
Right.
Yeah,
Because you can go to the gym and,
But he
and actually
lost.
train and never actually train to fight. You just training to work out.
I took Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu classes. That doesn't mean I know how to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Well, good.
does that mean
Yeah.
you got a black belt in bull crap?
Yeah. They take like 12 years to get. But yeah.
The white
And then-
suited your black belt.
So the next guy we have Samoa Joe. I think.
I love Samoa Joe, so
Yeah,
I
I've
have
been waiting.
nothing bad to say.
So,
I've been waiting.
think of it
for
this way: Samoa Joe is now on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
So is Nakamura.
Yep.
So is AJ Styles.
Yep.
So is Daniel Bryan.
So what do you think is going to happen there?
Anything.
Anything
like
can
those
happen.
4 names in a triple threat tag team, fatal 4-way, throw in Big Cass.
I just want Joe to get the belt.
Yeah.
However it happens, Joe has to get the belt.
Yeah, I think when him and Brock were going at it, I was a little upset with the fact that they let
Yeah,
Joe
Joe
lose.
lose to like just
'Cause
one F5.
they built Joe up to be this big badass, and then he loses with
Mhm.
1 F5 in less
Yeah.
than like 5 minutes.
I think it was like a 10-minute match. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, big fan of Joe. Been waiting for this for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's gonna
Joe's
do
finally
what
gonna have that place where he needs to be.
I think he's gonna do what many have attempted, many have tried to do, and many have failed, and that's be the new Kane.
You think so?
Yeah. Gonna take a lot of run-ins though.
Hey, I'm not. If as long as they push Joe, that's all I ask. I don't care how they do it or why. Just push him. That's all I'm asking.
So
See,
then
though,
number
my
5, we
thing
got big
is-
ass.
Yeah, we So, but that's my thing. So back on the subject though, of how the comparison of Joe to Kane. I honestly, personally feel with the way they're doing Big Cass that they're trying to make Cass the next big show.
He's nowhere near as good as Big Show.
No.
No, I mean he's not. The guy sucks on the mic. He can barely wrestle over his 2 feet.
There was
But-
okay. So when Big Cass showed up, I instantly had a problem with him because he goes up to Daniel Bryan, looks to D Bryan, is like, I don't see the hype, and then I'm like, that was such a Vince McMahon line. It was
Yep.
unreal. Like that's so what Vince thinks when he sees D Bryan.
Tell you what though, Daniel Bryan has proved that old man wrong so many times.
It's Big Cass is just like
He's blah.
I wouldn't even say he's blah. He's just like he's bad. Like he's really bad.
So on the subject of Cass and Enzo,
yes.
to me, the reason that team made it the way they did was because of Enzo. Like they normally
Yeah,
they
it was
say,
always Enzo. Yeah.
"Oh, the big guy carried the team." No, to me personally, the small little guy with the big mouth was the one that carried that team.
It was
Yeah,
always
obviously.
Enzo. He cut the good promos.
And that was proven when Enzo went over to the
205.
cruiserweight to 205.
205.
Stop saying cruiserweight. The
Yeah.
205 live, and he actually
People
people got reactions from him and everything, and
Mhm.
got and boosted a little bit. So I think Enzo was good at what he did. Now wrestling,
I mean,
but I didn't watch Enzo for wrestling. You know,
Mm-mm.
I watched him to come on and talk some junk, see what crazy stuff he was gonna wear,
yeah. Cut great promos.
cut great promos. That's all I wanted from him.
Oh yeah, and
That's all he
then
needed.
next we have Asuka.
You know,
I don't know. I don't feel like that really matters anymore because she already lost to Charlotte. So
best women's wrestler in the world.
Oh yeah.
Gonna have good matches with anyone.
Mm-hmm.
we're still talking about Charlotte, right?
No, we're talking about Asuka. We're talking about the Queen.
Well, for me, I mean, Charlotte to me is, like I said before. I think I said it on the podcast before, but Charlotte was the reason I started watching wrestling again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've seen a couple matches and I thought she was really good. I mean, I'm a Flair fan, so
Oh, okay, yeah.
you know. And when I saw her in a couple matches, I don't remember the match who she was fighting, but I remember watching her in a match. And I was like, oh, she's pretty good.
Sasha Banks.
It might have been with Sasha Banks, and I
That's
actually
what
saw
got me
them in a
back.
match, and I thought they were really good. And then I watched Seth Rollins,
Mm-hmm.
and that was like, okay, I think I'm back in.
Yeah.
So I'm happy about Charlotte. Asuka, I actually think she's awesome. I don't know about this whole dynamic of making her like this happy teammate with
Yeah, I don't.
Charlotte.
Yeah, because like I would never. Okay. If you beat me, I'm not gonna like high five you and shake your
Yeah,
hand.
It just doesn't work for me.
Hey, let's be friends. Like no.
And it, like, my question is, maybe is it because she's not as great on the mic yet? Is that what it is? Asuka,
Oh, Asuka. Like yeah. Okay. So Asuka. I mean, this is like why we need managers is
Mhm.
because like Asuka and Shinsuke can't cut like
Shinsuke Nakamura.
5-minute promos.
Right.
You
Because
know?
Shinsuke doesn't speak English.
Yeah, and that's like the same thing with
Mhm.
Asuka.
With
Where
Asuka,
like
she doesn't speak. Even when you watch her like off camera, she doesn't,
tend to speak.
Yeah, she doesn't
no
really
way.
speak. She's kind of she
Mhm.
communicates with like hands and movements almost.
Yeah, and that's what I think is really great about Asuka is she's very expressive with everything. She gets over in the ring as opposed to on the mic and everything.
Yes, and now Gallows and Anderson.
I've always thought that they have. They're frustrating. I remember the hype behind them showing up, and the first couple weeks when they showed up, they booked them right, where it was supposed to be these two tough guys from Japan who just beat up people and win matches, pick on littler guys and things like that. So that was great when they were booking them like that. But then I think after they switched AJ to SmackDown, I think they just got cold feet on Gallows and Anderson, and they were just too afraid to fully pull the trigger with them.
And all the momentum they gave to them, they gave it to Sheamus and
Cesaro, which
I mean, that to me that's okay because
it's okay, but
team.
But when you have that team, you brought them over here for a reason.
Yeah, and there was a lot of hype behind them too. They were the New Japan 4.
Right.
It was Gallows, Anderson, Shinsuke, and AJ.
Oh yeah.
I think it was a waste. Maybe with the way they cut. I mean, and I say this with the pause because I was expecting the Balor Club to turn into basically something bigger.
That's what I think everyone was.
Right.
Though.
And I'll pump the brakes on it because I don't think AJ is going to stick around a lot longer.
So
hopefully, I just for some reason I have this feeling like he's gonna
retire.
Retire on top or something like that. He did what he needed to do.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll give him the chance to bring the bring the club back and
he proved this point. He kicked ass, took names, went to Japan, went to WWE, went to Impact, went to Ring of Honor.
And this is just me hoping maybe that leads to a feud between him and Balor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that would be awesome, right?
That would be awesome. Well, speaking of Cesaro and Sheamus,
yes,
they've also came from to now SmackDown.
Yep. So this pretty much guarantees that they're losing at Greatest Royal Rumble ever, right?
Well, yeah, because they're not gonna. That would be really stupid to bring the Raw Tag Team
Championships
Championships over to SmackDown and then SmackDown to Raw.
Hey, it would not surprise me with this company.
That's true.
Looking at Mania would not surprise me with this company. But yeah, I think they realized that almost every tag team from Raw or from SmackDown went over to Raw. So I think that they were like, let's just put Cesaro in there. Fine move in my opinion.
Yeah. Do you think it means that they're gonna break up?
No.
I kind of hope not because I just don't know what.
It's kind of like I was talking about earlier about how with the Usos, how they were finally, they're finally getting up there, and it's like they're gonna knock them down.
They just cut the brakes on them.
It's like, oh hey, you guys did such a fantastic job, but we're gonna cut your brakes and throw you into 95-mile traffic and Interstate 4 in Orlando.
Yeah,
on the on ramp, and we're just gonna let you guys go. Sorry, but no.
I mean, just the only reason I ask is because to me it seems like while of course Sheamus and Cesaro are both awesome, I never got I don't think they ever really worked out the gimmick of them being together fully.
Yeah,
even in their outfits,
they got cool entrance. Though.
Yeah, the entrance was the really one thing that worked. The outfits just seemed like they just say, "Hey, I wear this, you wear that, so let's put it together."
Yeah,
and make it work. I don't know.
Least important, sorry, but I think it's kind of stupid. R-Truth.
Yeah, R-Truth. I thought
I honestly thought that guy was gone. I literally thought he was
I thought the way how they introduced him was hilarious. How he shows up with the New Day and he's like, "Yeah, we're all on Monday Night Raw. This is SmackDown."
The handshake though between him and Ty Dillinger.
Oh yeah,
that was perfect. How many times do they have to practice that?
Probably 1,000.
1,000 times. I mean, it's not like they're wrestling, so they probably got a lot of time too.
I mean, that was perfect. Wasn't messed up once. They were so in sync with that.
What happened to the SmackDown top 10? I just thought about this because you mentioned Ty Dillinger, where 2 months ago.
Daniel Bryan said 2 weeks ago that was no more.
That's awesome.
I'm almost positive. And actually, now that I think about it too, so first round draft picks for Monday Night Raw was Jinder Mahal.
Yep.
SmackDown's was The Miz. Totally different to the spectrum.
Mhm.
Like Miz is like way up here, and then Jinder's like bottom of my shoe. I walked through a pile of gum and I stepped in the wood chips.
I mean, but Jinder had a belt at the time, so I guess that was the.
I guess that's their reason.
Yeah, but it makes you think about that though, because Miz didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a Miz fan, so
Yeah.
Right. Me
I think
too.
Miz on SmackDown is better because it
Daniel
leads
Bryan.
to the D-Bry thing. Yeah.
Daniel Bryan and the Miz.
And
which was really great. Miz did a great job with that feud, even without wrestling, he did a great job.
Pushing that on talking smack though, talking about how you're never
D-Bry's a
gonna
coward.
live up to it. You're a coward. You're disappointment to your wife and your daughter. Like that was real stuff.
Real stuff.
yeah. And then so for SmackDown had a couple call-ups as well.
Yep.
They had Andrade Cien Almas and
Selena
Selena Vega. This is great. They didn't break them up, which was a great move. It's weird. Selena really helped Andrade
Andrade,
out. Yeah, because like prior to her, he was kind of just middling. He was kind of just there and everything.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, this was just a good call-up all around. I think Andrade was ready. I think it was time. There was nothing really else he could do in NXT, in my opinion.
Personally though,
Mm-hmm.
another one from NXT is Sanity, but it's only Eric Young, Alexander Wolf, and Killian Dane. To me, at first when I seen Nikki Cross wasn't coming up, I was like, why the hell are they taking away Nikki? Then it dawned on me.
Mm-hmm.
You just brought Ember Moon up to Raw.
Yeah.
You've got Selena Vega on Raw. That leaves
Or on SmackDown.
on SmackDown. That leaves Candice LeRae, Shayna Baszler, however the hell you say her name,
Baszler.
Lacey Evans,
Kairi Sane.
and a few other people.
Dakota Kai.
But those people really haven't been built up yet.
Yeah.
So maybe this gives them an opportunity to.
So
That's what it seems like.
personally,
most of
I'm
the time.
thinking the reason Nikki didn't come up is because
they're going to do her.
she's going to be that
and-
next step up to take the belt away from Shayna,
Yeah.
which would be
I don't
those
think-
two right there would be amazing.
I don't think they're going to do it. Nikki is going to beat her. I think it's going to be Kairi is going to be the one who beats her. But I think, Nikki will be her first challenger for the belt.
Maybe. Personally, though, I think what would be a really cool thing is I wish Bray Wyatt would have went back to SmackDown, and I wish what would have happened is all of a sudden Bray and Matt either could have joined in on it, or just Bray turns on Matt and joins with this new team to kind of reintroduce a Wyatt family as team. But then he takes Sanity away from Eric Young.
But it'd be awful to me to break up Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt after being together for a week.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sanity, I'm kind of nervous for them.
Okay, well, what if it's a case where they do another compound match and it's a tag team, and Bray turns on Matt, throws him in the Lake of Reincarnation?
I'm still against that wholeheartedly.
Which those matches are so stupid.
Yeah,
But
but they're great.
Ultimate Deletion things, those are so dumb.
That's the point, though. That's why
Yeah.
they're
So
so awesome.
stupid.
I want to
mean,
see New Day
they
in an
did it-
Ultimate Deletion
Wouldn't
match.
that be
That's
hilarious?
what I want.
That would be hilarious.
they did
Yeah.
it good. I mean, so that's my thing. So at Impact, they had the Hardys
Mm-hmm.
versus what was it, Abyss and Crazy Steve?
Yeah, it was the Abyss, not the Abyss. The Deletion. No.
Ultimate
Well,
Deletion. There was
yeah,
Final
yeah.
Deletion, which was just Matt versus Jeff. There was
Mhm.
Ultimate Deletion, which was the Hardys versus whatever Crazy Steve. And
Yeah, but what did Crazy Steve and Abyss call their tag team?
well, I mean, you see how many people watch Impact, so
Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't watch
guarantee no
Impact.
many.
I
I
did
guarantee
see
none of the viewers can say, "Hey, this is what's their name," because
Right. I saw the Final Deletion,
They had a
but
cool
I didn't
name.
see that.
nobody watches Impact.
Some people do. Hey, Impact's ratings have been up, man. So some people are watching Impact.
Yeah, Dave Meltzer.
But yeah, so I don't know. I'm just against turning Bray Wyatt after
After
him
1 week.
joining. Yeah, that's like the Daniel Bryan turning on Bray Wyatt after being in the Wyatt family for a week.
But I
Right.
think what would be really cool is
Mm-hmm.
having Bray Wyatt take over, Sanity, and having just imagine the level of promos between Eric Young and Bray Wyatt.
I mean, but you can do that down the line. I mean, they're gonna have a superstar shakeup almost every year, right?
Which is
Mhm.
stupid at this point. I mean, the superstars appear on both shows, so it's like
Yeah.
obviously they travel together.
And now, like, the pay-per-views are going to be one show.
yeah,
as
they're gonna
well,
be dual
so
branded, so it's kind of like.
So it
We're
believes
pretty
kinda
much
pointless.
like back to square one.
right.
This
Plus,
like
my thing is the people that all just so the women in the well, mostly the women that just got drafted from Raw to SmackDown and from SmackDown to Raw.
Yeah.
So like Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, they're doing a tour of Africa right now.
yes.
They're
Mhm.
still wrestling on the Raw portion of the show.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
the other people are still wrestling on SmackDown.
Mhm.
So like
Yep.
on television, it's like, oh hey, these guys are on Raw, these guys are on SmackDown. But on tour, it's like, well, these guys are still with Raw and these guys
Yeah.
are still with SmackDown. So
That's
it's like,
bad.
Yeah,
What?
it doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
because my thing is you got people running the tour of Africa, and then you got all these other people now
Mhm.
in Saudi Arabia
Yeah.
doing
Well,
another tour.
okay. Well, like the thing with that was they advertised those people already before they did the shakeup, and these shakeups are decided last minute.
That's
so,
why
Mhm.
like.
in most cases, like so, that event that Troy and I went to,
Oh yeah, it says
It
to
said
be
card
or
subject to
subject to
change.
change. Yeah.
there was one I went to where Seth Rollins was supposed to be there, but instead we got John Cena.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
Seth Rollins couldn't make it because he was in Chicago doing a show for Raw because they changed it the last possible second. And there was people that wanted refunds because they got stuck with John Cena.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, I mean, whatever, it's John Cena.
Yeah. It's
John Cena's cool. John Cena's GOAT.
John
according to
Cena,
Troy.
dude.
Shout
You
out
have
to Troy.
You have to respect John Cena and what he does. I don't like John Cena. My son enjoys John Cena, and that's the demographic that should enjoy John Cena.
Tell you what, though, to me, like,
I like John-
a lot of people are like, oh, man, I love John Cena, blah, blah, blah. I think he's a hypocrite.
Who, John?
Yes.
Why?
Because I personally think he's a hypocrite.
Uh-huh.
Because if you think about it, he dogged on The Rock. So he's
Yes.
like, oh,
Mhm.
Rock's a wrestler. Rock's going to Hollywood, blah, blah, blah.
Oh yeah, the part timer.
Yeah.
What are you doing right now?
Yeah, yeah, John's
Going to
part-timer.
Hollywood.
Doing the exact same thing.
Mhm.
Well, he
Wrestling
always
part-time.
wanted to be The Rock, right? So,
Yeah, or I think may not be him. But
So if
I
that's
mean,
the
he wanted to
case,
follow that
Yeah.
model that The
I
Rock
think
did.
he should change his name to The Boulder.
the Boulder.
Because if he wants to be The Rock, change his name to John the Boulder Cena.
The Boulder.
I mean, he's doing pretty well though.
Yeah, his movies.
His movies are. I mean, in the movies that I've saw him in, I don't know. I haven't seen the.
I
Didn't
tell you,
that,
that
like-
Ferdinand movie was really good.
Yeah,
Right.
didn't that get
My-
nominated for like an
Yeah,
Oscar?
It got nominated.
Yo,
My daughter thoroughly enjoys that movie.
I don't think The Rock ever got nominated for any of his movies. I don't think they ever got nominated.
there has to
for
be
anything.
one. There's no way.
Tooth
I
Fairy.
can't think. No.
Yeah,
obviously.
Tooth Fairy.
Or what was the one where he had the daughter and he was in
Game Plan.
Game plan.
Plan.
Game plan.
Not at all.
That was a
that's
good
great
movie.
Those have always been my issues with him and his movies too. Is that for some reason he chooses these movies that are like
Really stupid.
B movies or should be like Rampage, which I played the game. When
Yeah,
was
I
a
played the
kid.
game. Yeah.
But looking
I
at the movie,
never would've
that's
thought it
not
would've
going to
been
turn
Yo,
in.
I've
not
heard
gonna
that's
be
like the
anything.
best video game movie so far, though.
Oh really?
Yeah, just because like it's just like monsters destroying buildings.
Just so that it's basically just the destroying
It's
the
just
builder
the
factor.
game. It's
I,
the most
I plan on
accurate-
seeing it. We'll see.
I'll see it eventually. I'll see it when it comes out on Cody.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Watch out, you're gonna get Tommy Dreamer on us, man.
hey man, let him.
I
come
mentioned
at
that
me.
last pod when you talked about streaming the Ring of
Yo,
Honor.
no,
show.
I did not pay for that, but my friend paid for that,
Yeah.
and they owe my friend $30. Okay, that's legit. Because I only got to see one match on this entire thing.
That's what you guys get for trying to stream it.
Dude,
Should've
what?
bought it.
The WWE Network app is streaming. Like, the fact that Ring of Honor has, like, crapping streaming servers.
I was about to say, didn't they just started their streaming service?
No, they still do iPay-per-views.
You know what, though?
They're supposed to start them, like, next year.
Okay.
And, like, I'm just sitting there, I'm like, you could pay $30 for this one pay-per-view. Let's go through all of the other services that you could get. You could get the WWE Network. You could get the New Japan World. And then you can get ICW streaming site, all for $30. So that's 3 wrestling monthly subscription
for the
services.
same price.
Yeah, plus their backlog pay-per-views and everything.
My actual thing, I wanted to make a comment on that, is I noticed the other day WWE sent out a tweet where they plugged Impact for their streaming service thing. Like, they plugged the new Hardy DVD, which I can't remember it. No cheap plugs because I don't remember it because I don't buy DVDs because I got the network for that.
I buy DVDs on the
But-
occasion.
It depends on what it is. So I think the last DVD I bought was the one they released on Macho Man, but that's just because I liked Macho Man.
Yeah.
But they plugged Impact, and to me, like, as much as people are like, "Oh, Impact sucks," blah blah blah.
I think they're coming
When
back.
companies work together
It does.
and they put things out, like when WWE is like, "Oh, hey, go check out this thing I Impact did," or when Impact's like, "Oh, hey, we had these guys, we built them up, and now."
Yeah.
So personally, to me, I've seen a lot of comparisons that people have been calling SmackDown Impact because they have AJ Styles, they have Samoa Joe, they have Eric Young. Which would have made it even worse if they kept Bobby Roode, because literally then it would have been the house that Impact built, not AJ Styles.
When you said like SmackDown is Impact, I thought you meant like SmackDown is really bad, and then I was like, yeah, SmackDown's so bad.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I watch SmackDown every once in a while, and I don't know what it is about it. It just seems like
filler.
Yeah, it seems like they make it B level on purpose.
It's like there's no enthusiasm
Yeah.
about anything on SmackDown. Like the only good thing you can ever say about SmackDown is AJ Styles.
And Samoa Joe now.
Yeah, but that wasn't before.
Personally, though, I know a lot of people probably wouldn't agree, but I think what would be a really great match to see is like Samoa Joe versus anybody on SmackDown, but Randy Orton and like Samoa Joe.
I think that could be a fun match.
It could be a fun match. Well, my whole thing on Randy Orton is that he just had to get away from the snake thing.
You mean his semen snake thing he had at Mania?
Yeah.
We talked about, me and Will were talking about that on the way in.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing I can't deal with anymore. He's overplayed it now.
The Viper strikes.
Yeah, the Viper strike.
I think he needs to go back to the Legend Killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the best Randy.
What happened? Yeah, I was watching this video and this dude was like, "What happened to the Randy Orton who used to like go in limousines and like sleep with Hollywood chicks and stuff like that?"
Was it Evolution?
Yeah, that was Evolution Randy Orton.
Yeah.
That was best Randy Orton. Like I saw this sign that said Orton peaked in 04, and I was like, "Yeah, it's not wrong."
It's not that off. But yeah.
It's 04 Orton.
Yeah, I personally though, like,
He had the best drop kicks ever in that time.
yeah,
frame.
that's what I was actually getting ready to say.
Best
Is like one of the guys that literally can hit the best drop kick. It's Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Like the way he just perfectly just backflips into it, or he'll just land on his side. It's like
he had the best drop kick.
nobody. Well, besides AJ Styles, AJ Styles drop kick's kind of nice. And I tell you what, being a big guy, Braun Strowman has a hell of a drop kick.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
drop kick.
When he hit Cesaro with that drop kick at Mania, it was like,
kind of surprised me.
whoa, where is he
Yeah.
going?
Braun surprised me on a lot of different things, and
He's
that
so
was definitely
athletic.
one of them. Didn't he do like a 360 frog splash off the top rope?
It was something
at a live
like
show?
that. Yeah.
I was like, I mean,
It was
dude,
like-
It was like that time Big Show did the Bam Bam press off the
Oh,
corner,
yeah.
or the what is it? Not Bam Bam.
The Vader.
Andre.
Yeah. That was like
Whew, that looked like he flattened. I don't even remember who he was fighting. Dean Ambrose.
Yeah,
it was
it
Big
was
Show and Dean
Ambrose, yeah.
Ambrose, and he like dove off the corner and just dive bombed Ambrose.
the prime example of how athletic this guy is when he chased down Elias.
And he took off.
Yeah.
When he chased
he
down Elias.
beat Elias.
Yeah, I was like, what is
in
going
a
on?
foot race.
Like, yeah, that was pretty fast.
He took off like Usain Bolt out of that truck. Well, actually, to me too was when he took off against the Miz. Like
Yeah.
when he came out of that truck and just down that ramp as he's yelling, "I'm not finished with you yet."
But Brian, they can't have him lift anything else. That it has to stop.
Yeah.
At this
Because
point.
like the weird camera angles really have
Yeah.
to stop. There was this thing I saw where like it was all the shots that they did, and there was one when he like flipped the truck that was off the roof of the truck, and I was like, this is a little excessive now.
Yeah.
I know. Well, personally too, like they're building Braun up to be this big, strong guy, and I'm cool with that because I mean, there's not to me. Okay, so screw Cass. Like Cass is not big.
Yeah, yeah.
She's not
Big
a
Cass
monster.
is bad. No.
He's
Braun
not a monster.
Strowman
He's
is
just
Big
really
Show.
tall.
Yes.
Like literally, to me, Braun Strowman is the new Big Show.
Mm-hmm.
And when I remember years ago, me and Will talked about it before. It was SmackDown when Mark Henry ripped the chain off the door.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
Henry
Mhm.
ripped that chain off the door like it was nothing. And then there was that time he came out and he flipped that Jeep over.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell then they didn't have all those wonky camera angles.
Yeah.
He
Well-
literally flipped that Jeep.
Well, speaking of that, I mean that's something that I know watching wrestling now, and I think it's there's something they've started doing within the last like year and a half, 2 years. The way they shoot the
Yeah, the way how they shoot some stuff is
it just
really
makes it
like,
weird.
Weird. Like, and it's weird, though, because, like, if you go watch, like, you know, Lucha Underground, where they do, like, different camera angles, but, like, the camera angles in Lucha Underground work really well because
Mhm.
they do, like, angles off of the roof, and
Right.
then it'll just get you, like, a lot better view of, like, a pile driver or something
Mhm.
like that.
My thing with Lucha Underground is though, with
Mhm.
the way that's written, it literally. Why can't I
Literally.
not talk? All right, no English for me today.
No hablo de inglés.
Yeah, apparently I'm Shinsuke Nakamura. No
Uh,
habla English, but like Lucha Underground
Yes.
to me-
Okay.
reminds me of like an actual TV show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
it's
the way it's
supposed
made
to
to be
be
that
it's
way.
supposed to be like a soap
Like
opera.
you got your villain, and I mean like this guy looks like that bad guy in
Yeah.
like a DC movie. That's
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
oh hey, this is my company, and you can't touch me because
Mhm.
you touch me, you're gone. And I mean like the way they write it, and I tell you what too, the way the camera lighting that they use for it
Yeah, the lighting and
makes it
everything.
kind of have like
Dramatic.
this
Mhm.
ambiance type feel to it, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I read somewhere that they did that on purpose because I think they came in this era where all you had was the WWE, so it was like we have to come up with something different. So that was one of the things that they did. They wanted to make it something totally different than what you would normally see.
Yeah. Like so, the issue with Lucha Underground is like the story, or that I have with it is like the stories are kind of wonky, but like
Mhm.
the matches and the wrestling are like fantastic in it.
Oh yeah,
I agree.
I agree. I know personally, to me too. I think one of the coolest things about it was I haven't watched Lucha Underground in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I only tuned in long enough to see Chavo Guerrero's debut because I'm a huge Guerrero fan. Like I loved Eddie Guerrero and I loved Chavo, but
I didn't like Kerwin.
no,
Oh yeah, Kerwin White.
I didn't like his little caddy guy either.
Yeah.
That was Dolph Ziggler.
I know it was.
If it
He
ain't
was just
White,
trying
it
to
ain't
show
right.
off and
How did they get away?
How
with
did they
that?
get away with that? That was not great.
got
but
Ziggler trying to show off and be a little cheerleader, and just
Ziggler has come along. Wasn't he part of the Spirit Squad? Too?
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah.
was Nikki.
Wow.
yeah. There was what is it?
Kenny,
Nikki, Mikey, Mitch.
Nikki, here we are.
There was
the
5 of
Spirit
them.
Squad. Yeah, Kenny, Mikey, Mitch.
Kenny, Mikey, Mitch, Nikki, Mikey, Johnny.
Johnny.
Johnny. Yeah.
Johnny.
Look at that. We just renamed. We just recited all 5 members of the Spirit Squad. Which doesn't seem like that's... So, actually, on the subject of Spirit Squad.
Yeah.
Why did they beat DX? Like, there was one
Wait,
time that
why?
they... beat
Because they
DX.
wanted to put the young guys over.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, I mean, to me, Triple H never does that.
Yeah, but like,
Well,
Never
he
does.
He was on the
tries.
occasion.
Yeah, I'm about to say he tries to do it.
He
It's
did
not
it-
that he never.
yo,
does.
Shelton Benjamin beat Triple H 3 times.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Do you think he's gonna get this big push now that he's solo? Because I like Shelton as a
I like-
heel.
I love Shelton. Do I have confidence that this company will push Shelton though?
No.
Exactly.
Hey, maybe he can go over to the Titus Worldwide crew.
I don't think that's. I think he's better in the spot he's currently in.
I think he is too.
Personally, I think with how Shelton kind of sent out this tweet about how, I'm going to get back to being the ass kicker that I am and
Yeah.
doing what I came here to do,
hmm
I feel like he's going to get a push.
I could see him getting a minor push, but
To what level? That was the question.
to like Intercontinental
at the
U.S.
at peak.
Oh, yeah.
Championship
Yeah,
at peak.
At peak. Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
agree.
I was surprised that they. You know what? Like, actually, did really suck though was like when Shelton came back, a lot of people were really excited,
Mm-hmm.
and then like they just didn't like push him right. Like, they instantly put him with Chad Gable.
Yeah.
And, like, Chad Gable's great, and their tag team was great and everything, but, like, they never put the belts on him or
Yep.
anything. So it just kind of, like, hindered.
Fizzle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really excited to see him come back, and
Mhm.
I mean, I'm thinking either we're gonna get Chad Gable versus Jason Jordan, or they're gonna reunite as a tag
Yeah.
team. And
They're going to do Primetime Players 2.0, where they're going to be like the tag team is back, and then they'll break up, and then Chad Gable will team up with, what's his name? I forget. Crazy Old Man. Yeah, that guy.
Ric Flair.
Steve Blackman.
oh yeah,
Steve Blackman.
Oh God.
That's not who it is, but,
I know
we're
you're talking
saying
about
Bob Backlund.
Bob Backlund. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's going to go, then they're going to feud and they're going to have the worst promos ever. And then they're going to get back together only for Jason to turn on Chad again. And yeah, it's going to be glorious.
Glorious.
And I will be there, and I will be there.
Well,
Man, well, today was a great show, guys.
Yep.
yeah, I agree.
We're going to be wrapping it up soon, or wrapping it up here, folks.
Yeah.
Rose, there anything you want to plug?
Right now, no, I'm just glad to be back. You
Yeah,
know,
welcome back, man. We're
Yep.
glad to have you back.
Yes,
I
you man.
appreciate it. Yeah, and I loved all the shows you guys did.
Mm-hmm.
Last show was completely awesome. So if everybody get a chance, go back, check out some of the old podcast shows.
Yep.
Actually, I did want to take a quick second and just give a quick shout out to everybody who watched the last episode, because when I checked it before we started this, we reached 600 views on the WrestleMania episode, which to me, that feels pretty good.
Yeah.
Knowing that when we started, we were getting like 1-2 views, and we hit 600. I mean,
Yeah.
big shout out to
Within a
Justin
month or
Main.
two, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Big shout out to the fans of
It's a big
Justin
jump.
Main and for Justin coming onto the show for WrestleMania.
Yep.
You know, that was a huge part.
You know?
And actually, I wanted to plug our next episode.
Yep.
Our next episode is May 6th,
May 6th.
2 to 4 p.m. We'll be live again at 2 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, Eastern Standard Time.
And, be sure to
Production
like us.
note: we're currently in Eastern Daylight Time.
This man.
Thank you, Randy. All right. Well, thanks, guys, for listening. And actually, another quick shout out to the wonderful Podcast Detroit team.